everyone. Welcome to another new episode on There's More to Be Done. My name is Anam, and I'm a psychology enthusiast. Over the years, I've been able to develop a toolkit of strategies that have helped me create the kind of life I dreamt about. And I'm here to share them with you so that you can create yours. Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about fear of rejection. We all know about it, we all have it, and we have it at every age, no matter how successful you get. When you really care, the fear creeps in. As humans, we're a creature of habit of self preservation. We don't like taking risks and we want to avoid rejection at all costs. When I first decided to start working, I was so afraid of getting rejected, given my introvert tendency and my childhood experiences. It was unimaginable to me that I would have any success in networking. But I was also curious and stubborn. And I knew that there are people who are extroverts who find this very easy to do. I wanted to find out how I could do the things that extroverts do and don't get hurt in the process. Studying psychology in school, I knew about nonverbal cues and body language. And once I started learning about it, that seemed like a good start. I knew that if you paid enough attention, you will be able to get a sense of how the other person is feeling, irrespective of what they're saying or what words they're using. It was quite prominent of how they are feeling or whether they're genuine or not. And when I noticed that, instantly the thought that came to me was that this was something that's going to help me decipher what people really mean, and that way I will be able to avoid getting hurt. And so I thought maybe if I deep dive into it and learn a few things here and there, I'll be able to know when it's safe to actually go and have a conversation with somebody and now not be shut down. And so my journey began with my obsession of body language. I read books, articles, did any personality analysis test that was out there, psychoanalyzed people, made observations based on their interaction with others, how they walked, how they talked to other people. And then I came back and journaled about everything. When I journaled, it was a way of processing all the information that I gathered. And then I kind of thought about how I would approach the conversation. Once I had that idea, only then I made a move to actually engage with people. And then once I engaged with people, I again came back to journal about it because post that, I would now use deductive reasoning to drill down on things that I accurately guessed right and the things that I didn't get right and figure out what was it that I missed that I was not able to get that those facts right. This really helped me. The way it helped me was that I was now able to read people's cues to know if what they're saying is genuine or not and set expectations for myself. Initially, I did not use this information for anything else but just to make sure that I was protecting myself. So, if somebody who's really popular came up to me and says things like, you know, they really like my work or they admire something and then they kind of make a segue to whatever they need, I now knew that this was not a genuine conversation, but just a transactional conversation. Like this was not an opportunity for friendship. And so now I didn't get carried away with, all the positive things that they were saying. And I did not go with the expectation where I was like, does this person like me? Am I saying all the right things? Am I, overdoing it? It just took all the nervousness out of it because now it was just an information exchange. And before that, if somebody would come up to me and talk to me in the same way, most of the time I would have gotten it wrong. I would have misunderstood the conversation. And for me, I would have thought that, oh, somebody's coming and talking to me. Maybe they like it. The conversation went really well. And I should do more, try to become their friend. And maybe it's like a great opportunity to expand my social circle. All these thoughts on my end just meant that I got disappointed later. And I misread the situation because I was not able to read that this person was genuinely just engaging with me just because they want something. There is an information exchange, there is no ulterior motives, there is no, you know, conspiracy of any sort. It's just simply how people communicate. They come up to you, they ask you a question, exchange some pleasantries, and get the information and move on. After that, nobody really thinks about you in transactional conversations. And now, having the knowledge of body language, I could actually see it for what it was. Because once you have that information, you'll find that it feels safer to take risks, especially when you have to go first. As I mentioned in the previous episode, that we don't like what we don't know. And if there are variables, we want to engage with those variables in a controlled environment. What observing people and understanding people in reading them does is that it gives you that controlled environment in which the variable is the person you're engaging with, no matter how they interact with you. You are now still a lot in control because you're cautious. Your guards are up. You're being careful. You're setting expectations low. You start with the baseline. And so it's unlikely that you were going to read someone very, very wrong and set some very high expectations and then get really disappointed or hurt or get blindsided by something you never thought this person is capable of doing. People were not meant to live this life alone. We're always in groups, we were always in tribes, in communities, in societies. And so we can't go through life always playing it safe, no matter how much we fear rejection. Not engaging with people, being skeptical, and not trusting them, it's a very lonely and unfulfilling life. You have to engage with people if you want to network with people. And if you want to be successful in any field, the more you go on in your life, the more you grow in your career and your life, you'll have to engage with people. And practicing overcoming the fear of rejection and just showing up to connect with them, that'll provide you evidence that you're getting better at it. Slowly, you'll start to get used to it. And then you'll reach a point where you'll no longer see it as a stressful activity anymore. You will still feel the fear, but it will not paralyze you anymore. Rejection is also a type of a mental barrier that is created out of self preservation by our mind to protect us. There is no easy way to learn this. Even with all the deep diving I did into body language, observing people, I still have read people wrong. Sometimes just because I had the baseline wrong, sometimes by giving them the benefit of the doubt, going against my gut feeling. But when I do get it wrong in those moments, I remind myself that given the circumstances and the information I had, I took the right decision, taking every reasonable precaution and carefully considering all aspects. I'm kind to myself and I take note of what I can learn from the situation, and I keep a goal of never repeating the error in judgment. I keep a goal. I don't make a promise because goals, they can be revised and they can be achieved over and over again. But life is too unpredictable to make promises to yourself. Like they say, never say never. To make a promise, I will never do this again, it's unrealistic because you just never know. I'm sure you can tell that I'm an overthinker. And of course, when I think about, going into situations, I have analysis paralysis. And to avoid that, I do a simple exercise that I'm going to leave with you so that it can help you deal with the fear of rejection. I start on a blank page, drawing a line in the middle. I have a column on the left saying, I am scared of. And on the right column, I say, worst case scenario possibilities. On the left side, I start to write down everything that gives me a fear of rejection. And on the right side, I think about every possibility my brain can come up with and see it from the space of, if my friend came up to me and brought this fear of rejection, what is the advice I would give my friend to deal with this fear? 9 out of 10 times, I usually have an objective solution at the end of this exercise. And the thing that mostly helps me is the Nike motto, just do it. We'll deal with whatever comes. Do this enough times, and it will help you learn naturally that leaning into fear takes away the power from it. No matter what happens, I will still breathe, and I will still have a life, and I will still have the people who care about me, and life will move on. I'll be okay. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode today and found it helpful. If you did find it helpful or you think it'll help somebody you care about, please like and share the episode. Feel free to let me know if you have any comments or questions regarding this topic. I'll be more than happy to answer you. For more content, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at There's More to Be Done, or visit my blog at there'smoretobedone.blog. Links are in the episode description below. This is Anam, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Keep learning, keep growing.